Good morning all and welcome to today's video. So today I have just the one pair on watch, which is dollar Swiss. The market once again looks like it needs a little bit more development in my opinion and experience. What I'm looking for looks like it will take a little bit longer to shape up, and that's one of the problems that people have in trading, is that they fail to understand or accept that the market is correcting for about 80% of the time, but that's where the volume is built for these impulsive moves. Okay, so that's actually a good thing. It's not a bad thing when the market's correcting. It's actually a good thing because that actually provides the volume for these bigger moves, which we are looking for, which I'm looking for. So I'm going to break down dollar Swiss for you. So on the higher time frames, we have, I touched on this previously, we have the things that stand out to me, which is why I've got a ray line mark there. We have this very sharp move down followed by this sharp move up. That often implies that there's a lot of liquidity there. Okay, just to say that I have fixed my issue with my mouse, so we shouldn't in theory have any issues with that today. And the reason that I'm looking at this pair is because we have this 1-2-3 touch structure, okay, which taps into that sharp area of liquidity. So what we typically see, these are the patterns that those of us who trade the Falcon strategy look for. We tend to see these. We get this first touch, we get the second touch that breaks below the first touch, but near misses to the area of value. Okay, this is what I always call the FOMO leg. You would have heard me say that if you watch my videos regularly. We get a move that comes close to there, and then we get that corrective move up, okay, which is, in my opinion and experience, people trying to buy this. Not everybody's doing trading for the same reasons, but a lot of people will be trying to buy this, okay, whilst the orders that are still here are dragging price down, which is why you get this kind of seesaw effect, this corrective move up. Okay, then what usually happens, we come down, we wash out all the people that bought here, we break below, and then usually we tap into the area, and that's what gives us the 1-2-3. Okay, and then more often than not we break below on the higher time frames. I am mindful of that we haven't really. So it's just about, trading is just about stacking the confluences. Okay, people say to me, I think someone said to me the other day, and it was a valid point. Someone said to me within Falcon, someone said to me, what about the fact that on, I think it was, I'm using Oanda's data, and someone said to me, what about the fact that on FXCM dollar Swiss hasn't actually broken the low? At the time I thought they were referring to the lower time frame lows, but I think they were referring to this one here. Okay, so I think on FXCM's data, we haven't actually broken the low. I think we'd actually near missed to it. Well, as I said, that's a good point. That is a good point. But, because if we've near missed to this low on a different broker's data, then that might imply that we come down to take out that low to give us something like that. Because on the higher time frames, we usually, significantly break below really significant points like that before moving to the upside. But the problem with that is, okay, is if you're looking at one broker's data and you're saying, oh, well, okay, on another broker's data, we haven't actually tapped the low, we've near missed to it. And on Oanda's data, we have actually tapped into it. Then where do you stop? Which is basically the point I made. Where do you stop? How many there's loads of brokers out there. How many sets of data do you actually check? You'd end up with analysis paralysis and you'd never place a trade. So it is important to correlate things, but I think sometimes you can correlate a little bit too much and then end up just never placing a trade. And my trade frequency is quite low as it is, so sometimes you just have to analyze the price action of the broker that you're actually trading and trade accordingly, or not trade accordingly if your rules are not met. But anyway, I digress. So we've tapped into that area. Normally I would have preferred it if we'd have broken significantly below before pushing back in. That is a slight negative, nothing to be overly concerned with, but we can see that we have impulsed all the way back above here now. So we're trading above here. Okay, we're trading well above here now. The market has shown its hand. We've retraced all of this very bearish candle, which had a wick below it. We've retraced all of this now. Okay, and I'm just seeing this as an impulse. If I just drill down, I'm just seeing this. We've had an impulse correction continuation. That's the market showing its hand. And then I said to you previously in my previous videos that I was just seeing this as an impulse correction continuation to take us up to at least here, okay, because we had a bit of a sharp move up followed by a sharp move down. So the sellers who got short here are likely out of their positions, and the buyers that are involved now will likely be holding this at least up to here. I would anticipate, if I was already on board, that that would be a solid first target for me if I was swing trading this, to be getting out my positions. So it doesn't make sense at the moment for me for the buyers to just suddenly be getting out of their positions, because there's, you know, we're well and truly in a run of momentum to the upside. So if I just drill down, you can see that we potentially have the start of this kind of morning star formation. We've kind of, if I just drill down to the 4 hour, I do have a webinar to attend, a Falcon webinar to attend at 7 o'clock. So I'm going to have to probably go a little bit quicker than normal. What I like about this is that yesterday I said to you, if we just touch on this, I said that previously, if you remember, I had a ray line plotted here, and I said to you that price had tapped into that multiple times, giving me a clue that this was no longer the area of value, because if it's tapped into it multiple times and it's not found enough liquidity to push it to the upside, then the area of value is likely here, which just so happens to be just above these highs here. So it wouldn't surprise me if we tapped into that area and potentially retested the back end of this before pushing to the upside, because that's where the liquidity was sat. If it's tapped into this area multiple times and not found enough liquidity to push it to the upside, then it will likely push down to here. And if it pushes down to there, it will likely retest the back end of this as well. And that's exactly what's happened. And one of the things that made me think that is that we had this. Okay. So we had that one. If we just take that off the chart now, we've got the same thing happening on the lower time frames as we do on the higher time frames. We have the first touch, second touch that breaks below the first, but fails to tag the area of value. We then get that corrective move up. Are you noticing a pattern here, folks? That corrective middle section, people are trying to buy this, whilst the orders that are still down here are dragging price back down. We tap into that area, push back up, and now we have that structure. And I said to you yesterday in the previous video that we have the same thing here. First touch, second touch, which breaks below that, but near misses to here and near misses to here. Then we break below, we get that structure, we get the corrective middle section. So this is about as clean as it gets, really. Okay. And now we have that push back up. And all I'm anticipating now is I'm just looking for that, excuse me, I'm looking for that sideways correction. I'm looking for, this is what I forecasted last night. Of course, the push up had already happened. I'm just looking for a sideways 15-minute consolidation. Okay. And then I would look to get long on the break of that. And as a first target, you might be thinking, are you not worried that you're trading? Excuse me. Are you not worried that you're trading into these highs? No, because what reason? Yes, you could say, okay, well, maybe this is a bear flag like that to push lower. Okay, well, what reason does price have to do that? That's the thing I ask myself. Price has already tapped into this area by way of a 1, 2, 3, and it's already retested the back end of all of this volume. So what reason does price, it doesn't make sense for me for price to form. Of course, the market can do anything at any time, but it doesn't make sense for price to do that, tag me in, tag me out, and then just rocket to the downside, because it's washed out all of this liquidity. So if it does correct sideways, then it's likely just doing so. It's just likely the bank's stacking the orders for the next wave to the upside because of that completed piece of structure. And then we would have that impulse correction continuation to the upside. Whoops, press the wrong button there. And then I'd be able to manage it up to here. I don't see any reason for it to reject there, because if we just measure this, okay, by that point, if we've moved up to there, we've retraced 75% of the length of this move from here to here. So if we've done that, then we're likely finding our way to here. If price was going to do anything or form something more complex, it would likely do so from here. And by that point, I'd be running at 3.5% profit, okay? And of course, if we kept going, given that price has built up a lot of volume, then we could potentially be seeing a move up to here for something in the region of 7.64%. If we broke that, then we would likely find our way all the way up to this high here. or certainly up to here. Okay, so plenty of profit potential to be made. So all I've done on this one now is I've set a Google Calendar reminder to remind me to check this periodically, just to see how this is forming, because at the moment, at least, that this doesn't look like a flag that I would uh, entertain. There's nothing really that resembles a correction. I'm looking for two clear tops so that I can say, okay, so that I can identify where the orders are being stacked. At the moment, that's not I'm not able to do so. But anyway, that is the thought process, folks. Just a bit of a shorter video. As I say, I've got a webinar to attend at 7 o'clock as a member of the Falcon community. If you would like to learn more, if you're watching from outside of Falcon, there is a link on my YouTube channel. But thanks for watching, folks. I shall see you in the next video. Have a great day, and I'll speak to you again soon.